Hey guys, if you don't know me by now, my name is Marcia Sava, and I have been in the process of removing people from the dark rituals for like SSP, abductions, my labs. It's has the same basic structure called the Tree of Death, and I have been doing a lot of altar integration. Um, So I wanted to teach you guys something about integrating altars. I've learned a lot over the past month. Oh my God, so much. So I wanted to share that with you guys in case you guys had altars you're trying to integrate. I want to help you figure out how to do that. Okay. So, well, I want to start with obviously the biggest example, which would be Chris Moore. And so if you do not know our story, please go back and listen to the podcast about Chris Moore's integration of the assassin altar mic. And then all my podcasts are about what happened after that. And um, it's a pretty crazy story. And then I integrated him and what's happened since that. Um, so please go listen to it if you haven't, so you can understand what's going on. But a quick version of that is, I've known Chris for like 7 or 8 years. However, um, I have not been close to him until about the last four. When he moved here, I knew him, but I didn't know him. And anyway, during that period of time, um, and if you guys have heard this story, I'm going to be expanding on it, so it will still be some useful information for you. Um, so when I first met Chris, he was a perfect blend of the two personalities. Um, and then as time went on, that's when the SSP uh, uh, the assassin altar started coming forward more and more and more, and taking his consciousness wherever he was, just drop him out like in the movie Avatar, boom, out. And um they would share consciousnesses. So when Chris would dream, when he would dream, he would dream about Mike's experiences, and vice versa. I have no idea when this guy slept, or how he slept, or if he slept. I don't get it. But anyway, so we went through this long battle, trying to save his life. Um, and long story short, we integrated all of his altars, and then went back to a reading with Christy Campbell to find out if we'd gotten them all, and we had gotten them all except for Mike. And I said, not a problem, I can get Mike, because I had been communicating with Mike in meditation for years. So I went back in, and that was an amazing story too. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it on my podcast about integrating Mike. And so I integrated this guy, and so what, 4 6 months ago, I don't know. I'm terrible with time, terrible, terrible. But something like that. This man was nothing more than a vision to me through meditation. I saw his where he lived, or where he was. Excuse me, I don't know if he lived, but I saw where he was. I saw his face. I knew his name. I saw some things that happened to him. I saw torture and abuse. I saw him go rogue through meditation only. And I integrated him. After I integrated him, suddenly this man that was a perfect blend of the two personalities became just Chris. Mike, and that whole military weapons and navigation and loving anything having to do with flying, all that whole personality just disappeared. And when I integrated him, I told him, I said, um drop all your trauma and your hell, leave it here, don't bring it with you, and when you come in, just bring the memories you want to keep, and I will overlay Chris's memories over onto yours. So he completely disappeared. And I was like, well, I guess that's how this works. No. So the whole time he was integrated in Chris, even prior to the integration of Chris, I had learned that when Mike was coming forward too much and it was causing Chris problems, like dropping him out at work or whatever, I had learned to push him back through meditation and love, to push him back in the personality so that it stopped causing problems. So I've been doing that for a long time. And we have been doing that after he integrated, and Chris could not deal with it mentally, emotionally, physically. He just could not deal with facing this altar, dealing with the whole altar situation. He did not want to talk about it at all. So I was like, well, damn. So a lot of time went on. I never saw a hint of his personality again. And I noticed Chris getting increasingly more agitated. And I thought it might have something to do with Mike. So I, was pushing him back. And he came in one day and he said, Mike wants to leave. He's not happy and he wants to leave bodies. And I was like, oh no. So I said, Chris, think about it. You came into this body. You don't know anything going on. And the person's body you came into doesn't want anything to do with you, doesn't want to talk to you, doesn't want to have anything to do with you. Um, just wants to pretend you're not there. I said, how would you feel? I said, you got to dissolve the walls. So he and I had seen him another day, and he was having a kidney stone. I had a bunch of them back to back. Poor guy. So he was having a kidney stone, and I was telling him, I was like, I was trying to get him to let Mike in. Actually, the reason why was because I wanted to see if I could pull Mike through to take over some of the pain for Chris, because Chris had about all he could take, and I felt I could do it. So I was trying to pull Mike through to help him, and I finally let him. I said, "You got to let Mike in." I said, "You got to start dissolving the walls. Try to dissolve the walls. I'm trying to pull him through to help you right now." And he said, "Okay." And he tried, but then he was hurting really bad, and then he passed it, and I didn't see him after that. So I didn't see him till the next day, and he came in, and he said, "I keep getting, if I just got a mustache, I'll be happy." And I was like, that's a Mike bleed through, because I've seen Mike. I've seen Mike. He's seen Mike. I actually even posted a picture of Mike. A friend of mine was making an AI picture of all of us together, and it made two pictures of Chris. One was Chris, one was Mike. I was like, whoa. So I posted it on my Facebook page. And even another person that I work with recognized Mike from the programs. So, yeah, that was crazy. The stuff AI knows is crazy. So I was like, oh, wow. So um, I told him, I said, that's a Mike bleed through. I said, make him happy, give him the mustache. So I was giving him a haircut, and then he shaved down to the mustache, and I saw this big smile on his face, and I said, that worked well. So the next day, I didn't see him. Saw him the next day. I went down there to see him off in the morning, and he was like, he was looking at me. I walked in, and he was looking at me like this. And I was like, whoa. And he was smiling at me and looking at me like he'd never seen me before. And I was like, whoa, that's trippy. And I could tell that there was a different face looking back at me. And I was like, whoa. So he said, I think Mike's happy. And I said, I think so too. So after that, he started just trying to make Mike happy. And I didn't see him for another day. And then I saw him um, the next day, and he was talking about, I've come to learn that Mike has aspects that I need, and I have aspects that he needs. Um, he needed his fun and playfulness and not give a shit attitude. And Mike needed Chris's empathy. So they really did need each other. And um, I said, yeah. So, and then he told me, he said, Mike was the fun one and the playful one. And I said, well, get his ass back out here because Chris had been like, raw. And I was like, oh my God. So, so he said, okay. So they made the deal that Chris would handle work and social situations because Mike is an assassin altar. And Mike would be out at home. So the next day he was going to come home and be Mike. Well, I had always seen them as a blended being. So I thought this meant more of Mike would be coming forward. I didn't know what was actually going to happen. So the next day he comes home and he's like, hey, and I'm talking to him and I said, Chris. And he said, no, I'm Mike. Hold on, guys. I need to get my dog who's out here trying to get run over. I hear her. Okay. So, anyway, quit. So he says, I'm Mike. I was like, okay. So I thought mostly Mike. No, it was purely Mike. I've never seen Mike, just Mike. I've communicated with him through meditation, but that's very different than having that person standing in front of you. So here I am tripping out. Here is Mike, the guy that was purely a vision to me months ago. Just an altar in the SSP. Suddenly, this man is standing before me, going, "Hey, I'm Mike." And I didn't realize what that meant right away, but I started finding out there's some very big differences. First key to that was I was doing energy work on him, and he sat up in the bed and he said, "Oh my God, I almost choked on a piece of chicken. They fried it in peanut oil, and I'm allergic." He said, "See, this always happens when I come forward." And I said, "What?" He said, "Problems like this." I said, "What you have different allergies?" He said, "Yeah, and they have different bodies, very different bodies. Mike is not sensitive. Chris is crazy sensitive. Um, they have different tastes in food. Their bodies react differently to different things. When Chris takes the peptides, it heals Chris's body, but not Mike's. Um, there's just certain things that they take, that Chris will take, that doesn't affect Mike at all. Um, they're very different. And I was like, whoa, things just got really weird. So I got the day to talk to Mike a few hours. Um, and I was like, wow. So I started finding out how this stuff works. And one thing he told me was that now he had received the message to come forward to help Chris when he was having those kidney stones. He did receive the message from me, and he said, I was trying. He said, but Chris wouldn't let me through. He said, Chris controls the body. And if he doesn't want to let me through, I can't get through. And I would assume that might be the case with everybody's altars, that this is the core personality. So they are the ones that are in control. Now, he explained that he came forward as if they come forward as a blended being, a little bit of both. They both have the memories, but if they don't, and one and they completely alter out into one or the other, the uh like say Mike would not be able to or they would not be able to remember each other's memories. They completely alter out and they don't know what happened. They can leave some impressions, kind of like that dreamlike state that I told you. So Mike can tell Chris mentally, hold on guys, my computer's trying to die, so hold on one sec. So the core personality is the one that can dictate whether these altars come in or not. But if you alter all the way out, that meaning that just that altar is forward, then you don't know what they're doing. So just so you guys know that. Or that's at least the case in Chris's case, and I would assume that would be across the board, but could be wrong. So he explained to me that all of Chris's memories are like dreams to him. That's how he would experience them. So when Chris would close his eyes and he would be Mike, Mike would close his eyes and he would dream about Chris. And they would share each other's memories. So Chris's life was a long dream to Mike and vice versa. So it's really weird, man. So Mike uh, is a full, complete another person I've never seen before. This shit's blowing my mind. So he has memories of growing up in the SSP, and his whole life was military and the SSP, and that's all he's ever known. So coming into this body um is like going into a stranger's body. It's very confusing for the altar and the person that it's happening to. They have their memories, but as they integrate, as they're in there longer, they start sharing memories. And Mike explained to me it's like files. Um, so if something happens to Chris, or it's something Chris knows but not Mike, he can retrieve the memories, but it's hard. He has to kind of go through files. Um, and I don't know if that's the case for everyone because they're very psychic, so they're able to communicate already, probably in a way some people can't. But anyway, um, he was able to explain to me how what it was like coming in. He gets sucked through a portal. He got sucked through a portal back into Chris's body. He said it was like having your skin burned off. But it only lasts about 5 seconds, but that's what it feels like. And then it's over. And he's in the body, and then he's confused because he has memories, but he doesn't. It's dreamlike, but it's real. It's this kind of thing. It's really weird. So, I, I don't even know what to say about that. They're very different. Mike is very laid back, fun. Chris is a ball of stress. Chris uh, does not like talking to people or being sociable or answering questions. Mike loves it. He loves people and he loves to be sociable and answer questions. He actually is the one that told me, let's do a podcast. And I was like, whoa. And he was like, and I went and asked Chris, made sure. And Chris was like, I'm fine, just don't tell me. I don't want anything to do with it. So this is how different they are. And this is what will be going on in your body when you integrate these altars. You're going to have altars coming in with completely different memories, trying to integrate back into you as a piece of you. It's weird. So, um, some key differences. Uh, Mike is messier. Chris is more stressed. Chris is good with wheeling and dealing business stuff. Chris better with people. Mike is better with stress. They're both really good with pain. Um, they've been through a lot, both of them. But Mike processes pain better than Chris, so he can handle more because he's been conditioned to do that. Mike said they're both the same amount of psychic, but Mike is stronger because he's been trained in this stuff. They have different tastes in food, clothes, different bodies, different memories, different childhood. Everything's different. It's like taking two people and putting them in one body. It's weird. I never realized how crazy this stuff was. It's weird, but it's a trip. So I'm trying to think what else. Some of their key differences. They're both very very good with the kids, um, and very kind, caring, compassionate, loving guys. Both of them. They're both great guys. They're just really different. And come on, buddy. So I also learned that see, they have a very symbiotic relationship together. Mike came forward that day and he explained to me that Chris is breaking. He's been going through a lot of stress about family issues and other things, job issues and stuff. So he's about to snap. So Mike said, "I'm going to step forward and give him a break." And he explained that for Chris, that would be much like the Chris personality falling asleep while Mike takes over. Which is great and really sweet of Mike. Mike is actually very caring. This assassin altar is a very caring, loving guy that don't take shit. So that is something we will have to be careful with. I know that Chris was snapping lately, so Mike stepped forward today to take care of a half day at work for Chris. It was a little nerve wracking, but I trusted Mike, and he stepped forward, and I told him this morning I did some work on him, and I said, "Do not let that come out and get bad." You know that because Mike is very whoa, and Chris is just a stressed out, nervous wreck. They're very, very different. Mike has this energy of, he has this energy and face, even their face changes when he switches altars. His face is different, and I've always seen his face change, but I didn't put this together. I know it's changed with entities and stuff before, but this is really interesting to me. So, um, Mike actually really impressed me that day. Um, he did something really, really nice for this guy who said, you restored my um, faith in humanity. And I was like, wow, really stand up guy. But one thing they have to do is leave notes for each other because if they're completely altered out, they don't know what the other one did. They can give some impressions, but it's not real clear. So Mike wrote him this big long note, went and bought him some gifts to leave for him when he woke up to cheer him up, which was amazing. So this is an assassin altar who's working with Chris like this, stepping forward to help Chris. He says, "I love the kids. I love Chris." And I'm like, wow. So our whole idea about how these altars work is a bit skewed because just because he was an assassin doesn't make him bad. I thought he was going to come in with a little bit more raw, but he's actually been an amazing guy. Really, really kind, sweet, caring, and helpful. And I'm like, wow. It just really made me understand what could have happened here. So, uh, yeah, he it's been really interesting, but I really wanted to get on to some other things, but I wanted to bring that up because those are really interesting. That's some interesting information about how this works and what you and your altars can expect when you go to integrate them. Um, I know not everyone would alter out that hard. It would be slighter, but the process is still happening. after you undo this stuff, to some degree at least. You're bringing in parts and pieces of yourself that haven't been whole with you in a long time, and they have different memories and personalities, and it's pretty crazy. So, yeah, that's the altar. And also we have to calm um, Mike down because Luke, who I just recently did a podcast with, was telling me how these assassin altars. He was giving me some information on them that was valuable. Um, they have weapons even built into their arms right here, their forearms, and they had something else, some kind of weapons. Their bodies were weapons. He was explaining that he when you're assassin altar in the programs, you start to get this dopamine spike in combat. So I saw that day, that bleed through when Mike would get excited about the job he used to do. I could see that once he explained that dopamine hit when you're excited about doing that. Uh, he said that that's been trained into them, and that's something we do need to address. So that is something I'll be addressing in meditation soon. So um, this is the way in which we're going to have to work with Mike is just to calm that part down. Outside of that, it'd be a perfect integration. They both have what the other needs. Chris told me he needed Mike's confidence and um, easygoing attitude and lack of worry. And Mike told me he needed Chris's empathy. So they need each other, and they're working very symbiotically together, which is really blowing my mind. It's actually just giving Chris a break. So right now it's working, and it needs to just stay the way it is. We'll see. He says he's not going to integrate, but y'all should know me by now. I'm not taking no for an answer when I see it's no longer necessary. It's happening, and I'm sure it'll happen on its own, but it'll happen. But anyway, some other really interesting things I've learned about altars I wanted to tell you guys about. Uh, I was working with someone recently that I've been working with the whole time I've been public. Fantastic person. And she had altars that hated me. I'd had this channeled to me. They hated me. And she never told me that, but she could feel it brewing underneath sometimes when I would trigger them. And I kept trying and trying. She kept saying I got on my altars, but I always just try because you never know. And if I see that they're not seeming normal, totally right, I'm going to go in and try to integrate altars. So that's how this process would go. Started trying to talk to these altars that night. And I was like, I was calling them forward. I had gotten their names from her, and I was calling them forward. And both of them didn't like me. And they come out, boy, Will, they were spitting mad, boy, cussing me out, going off on me. But I knew it wasn't her. So I was like, okay. And everything they threw at me, I just was be just patient and sweet. And I said, you will grow to like me. You'll grow to see that I only have your best interests at heart. And she come in swinging, boy, and I was excited to see her. I was so excited because she was a spitfire, and she was exactly what this person needed to integrate back in to be the strongest she could be. So she come in swinging, boy. And the other altar that integrated didn't even want to talk to me, didn't want anything to do with me. I said, okay, I respect your wishes. And whenever you're ready to talk to me, you'll talk to me. So it was really cool. But after they integrated, um, I told her, I said, you better make them happy. I said, we were about to make an AI image of something, and I said, go in and make an AI image and let just your altars make it. Just let your altars come forward and make the image. So she made an image of exactly the altar. And I know this was her because I've seen her in her eyes before, solid black like that. I've seen her altar out into her many times. And she made an image of herself and it was really cool. Um so AI, what a trip. That's all I can say. But it's just a tool, and they're using it for dark. We're using it for light. That's the way I look at it. So it's only gonna be a dark tool if it's only ever used for dark. I don't know, but she came in, and that person was busy integrating these two, which was a lot, and then we integrated some more. Things got really crazy. So let me back up a little bit. The one that came in with the black eyes, she's Spitfire. But then there was another one that came in, and she was a pyro, and she used to set fires all the time. And I was like, okay, and we integrated her in. Well, last night we were talking, and I integrated some more, at least one, maybe more. I can't remember. One main one for sure, and all the altars started jumping around in her fast, and I was like, ooh. Now I know Chris says that that's not possible, but I, I don't know. Based on what I've seen, I tend to disagree. I don't know, but based on what I've seen, this was altered. I mean, I was even watching her face change, her face, her eyes, the things she would say, the way she would speak was completely different, like an altar, but it was relatively quick. So yeah, that was happening, and her eyes would change, her face would change, but she was on fire and she was channeling, and she was like on fire, and she was amazing. And I was seeing that altar that integrated that I loved so much, who didn't like me, but she likes me now. But she I was seeing her pop through. I was seeing the other one that was the pyro pop through, and actually popped through so hard that next thing you know, she's over there building fires and it's smoking out her house. It was on the stove and stuff. But I was like, whoa, dude. I was like, let that altar come through and let me talk to her. So I got the altar on, and I said, and that's the first time she ever spoke to me. And she told me she was upset because she had not bought her any charcoal because she wanted to build fires. And I was like, hey man, you you need to make that altar happy. So I tell you what, go get her everything she wants to build fires. Let's just make sure they're safe fires. So that's what she needed to do to make that altar happy. So in Mike's case, it was a mustache. In this altar's case, it was fire. Uh, a lot of the altars I have coming in simply want sugar and sweets because they were not allowed to have that in the SSP and in the programs. So I'm finding that actually a lot. Is these altars coming in just chowing down, which is funny to me. Um, so it could be as simple as getting them a candy bar every day, make them happy. Like it's that easy on some of these guys. They're so easy. They're not asking for much. Most of them are asking for protection and healing, a lot of protection, and they they're asking for different things. I had one last night ask for nature. I had one ask for sleep. Um, God, what else? I had some really recent ones lately. Uh, some queens that came through, and that was really interesting what we had to do for them. So I've learned another trick here. Um, so what happened was I had a queen that I disconnected off somebody. Took me about 3 tries to get it, but I got it. And because I couldn't find the hook right away. And when I disconnected all the crowns and associations, she told me, said that they were sad because they didn't have a crown. I said, got the perfect thing for you. I've been working with these entities that are coming and bestowing astral jewelry on you. So let me do that for your altar. So I sent them in to do that for the altar, and the altar was happy and integrated. They just wanted a crown. So there was another like princess altar. I don't know what that equates to, but it was under the princess programming. Same thing. Gave them a crown. They were happy and integrated. So okay, they want a crown. Cool. We can give them a crown. It doesn't matter. Like, it's simple stuff these altars are asking for. They're asking for some appreciation, some love, some protection, some sugar, some whatever. It's not hard. It's not hard to please. Mike wanted a car, a specific car, and I told Chris, go get it. So he did. Mike's happy with that. So it's crazy how this stuff works. Um, so trying to think what more I really wanted to tell you guys about altars. Um, an altar came through day before yesterday, I believe it was, with Luke, who I just recently did a podcast with. Um, and he said I can put all this out, but he had I was trying to talk to his altars, and he told me that one of them was an assassin altar that excuse me, unalived reptilians. So I said, can you pull that altar forward and let me talk to him? So I was able to talk to that altar and get a lot of information about how to um, destroy reptilians. And I've been using that in my meditations, and it's been fun because we've been getting a lot of targeting from Draco. They've caused us a lot of problems lately. And you know what? I'm coming for them. So anyway, so this altar was an assassin altar, and he taught me how to best hit these things. So do you see the things that we can uncover from altars? There's valuable information from them. They are parts of you. You want to integrate them, but you have to be careful because you have altars like this that are tricky. Sometimes, some parts of them can be tricky, but it's a matter of just working with them, making them as happy as you can, within reason. Giving them love, peace, and healing. It's really easy to work with them and get them sucked back in. So, I hope you guys join me on the next podcast I'm going to do, where I explain what I learned from this assassin altar that annihilates reptilians, how to do it. So I'm excited to give out that information. And I'm going to be doing a lot more podcasts like this from now on. So I'm just going to start doing some of my own information because I have so much to get out and I can't get any of it out because I'm constantly waiting on podcasts. So from now on, I'll be doing my own. This is my channel. Subscribe to it. All right. So you guys have an awesome day. Thank you. Bye-bye. And trying to remember. I know there was more. Okay, so oh yeah. Draco are very psychic. They know your moves before you make them. I had already been playing with this. One thing that I was doing was shooting my attacks out forward and backward in time to boomerang back around and hit them in the middle. And that was working. So he told me that one of their tactics is to kind of shoot all possibilities out, all possible moves out from you all at one time. So it's just this spaghetti of possibilities. That's all they see. when they're reading you, and then you intuit the path they're going to take, and then you attack there. So that was another one. Um, so I do know that they cannot even detect the love frequency. They don't even understand it. So the love frequency can be very stealthy. So I had already been playing with something. I said, all right, I know you assholes can't feel the love frequency. I said, I'm going to sneak up on you. They had pissed me off so bad. So what I would do is I've gotten really good at this. I would ride the line between, I would go into unconditional love really, really, really hard and ride that line and sneak up behind them. And as soon as I get behind them, I'd snap out of unconditional love, boom, into attack. And I can do it fast like that. Boom. And I'll be already on them before they could react. And it was funny because Luke was telling me, he was like, he told me, I was telling him some of the things I was already doing. And he was telling me that, oh, that's called such and such tactic. It's something in the SSP that's apparently bleeding through with me that is surprising me because I've never seen, I've never had memories. So I didn't know anything from there. So I am starting to see a mega bleed through of some of my abilities and some SSP stuff bleeding through now, which is cool. Because I kind of want the memories because I know my power's stuck in there too, you know. So yeah, he was like, "Oh, that's called blah 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 tactic." He knew it. He knew what I was doing already. And I was like, "Cool." And he was like, "Yeah, I've had students that couldn't even get where you're getting." I was like, "Cool." So one thing that we did the other night, we've been having a lot of interference from Dracos and Draco's ships hanging out, shooting beams down on everyone. I said, okay. So Bob was here and I said, hey, I said, I want you to do something for me. You're really, really good at the love frequency and I'm really good at the attack. I said, I want you to cover me in the love frequency, cloak me in it, shield me. And I'm going to go on attack. So he shielded me and cloaked me with that love frequency. And I remembered all the tactics that I just told you. And oh, one other thing. Dracos can be very easily injured by injuring their Achilles heels. So when Luke was telling me this, the egregores were already popping in my mind. It didn't come from me. It just came out of nowhere. It was these boomerang sling blades that were going to do slice their Achilles heels. I was like, cool. But anyway, I went through and I did all those tactics and took care of the ships. Um, and then yeah, I did it with some other people another night. Um, but here's something funny. I was on the phone with my friend that I was talking about in the last podcast, and I was like, "You want to help us attack these reptilians?" And I started telling her what how to do it, and she was like, something in me doesn't like this," and I was like, "Oh, you got like a reptilian altar or something." I said, and I went on to explain, look, honey, we're not attacking altars. No, not at all. You altars are tortured and abused. Y'all, we're not attacking you. We're only attacking those that are attacking us and you. That's it. I don't attack anything other than what is attacking me. You know, I mean, I have the right to defend myself. So, after I explained that to her, that altar aspect or whatever, started to calm down because, um, yeah, must have been a reptilian altar. But no, I do not go after anything that is not violently attacking us. That's it. You know, I'm not like that. You know, I want to work with these altars, reptilian or not. I don't care. I don't care that you're reptilian. I don't care that you're great. I don't care what you are. Just stop attacking me. It's as simple as that. Stop attacking us. You know, but Yeah, that was another interesting altar experience. So, um, I was trying to think what else that I could share with you guys about that. But yeah, um, we don't have to take their shit anymore. We're not. You know, you want to come over here and shoot beams on us? Okay, then we're coming for you. And this is how we're going to have to get it as a collective if we're ever going to make this stop. Because it doesn't matter how nice you are, they're going to mess you up. They don't care how nice you are. They just want to fuck you up. So you have to come back at them. That's the only way. So hopefully this helps you guys and some of you guys get on board astrally or otherwise and we start taking some of these guys out. Okay, well, thanks guys. Y'all have an awesome day. Bye-bye.